The Liberals made it clear during the last two elections they were going to make major changes at the WCB. We knew that they would not have the interests of the injured workers at heart, but it looks like it's going to be much worse than we expected. The government has appointed Alan Winter, a lawyer who represents employers in WCB appeals, to rewrite the Workers' Compensation Act. Winter represented the largest employer group at the Royal Commission on WCB. I would believe that would be the ICBA, and is a long-standing spokesman for employers' rights. The Liberals did not even make a pretense of a neutral tripartite committee to review the act. The appointment was a huge slap in the face to Labour. Even one of the right-wing columnists for the Vancouver Sun, Paul Wilcox, wrote a column on how outrageous Winter's appointment is. What would the employers do if Glenn Clark had asked Jim Sinclair, the president of the BC Federation of Labour, to rewrite the act? The terms of reference for his review are equally outrageous. They include such questions as: should the WCB compensate for occupational disease? Should the WCB give pensions for permanent functional impairment? How long should workers have to wait before starting to collect benefits? He is reviewing the entire ambit of the WCB functions, including development and enforcement of OH and S standards, as well as any compensation services. It is widely expected that the Liberals will essentially gut the entire system in favor of the employers. We can safely predict some of the changes because of the right-wing agenda has been employing the same tactics all around the country. BC is one of the last to go. Changes in which the employers have been arguing for workers' compensation include reducing the appeal system down to just one level, formed from the present three levels, so that the workers get less kicks at the can. Reducing the present benefits level of 75% of gross wages to 85% of the net wages. In brackets, this is to ensure that workers don't get rewarded for being injured. Make workers wait anywhere from 3 to 5 days after the injury before starting to get benefits. Limit or remove lifetime permanent disability pensions. They have promised to reduce regulations for employers by at least 1/3. This will be devastating to the OHS and the prevention. The Liberals are making a mockery of the consultation process. Winter has agreed to listen to only 5 groups for 1/2 day. This is a joke. The Royal Commission of Workers' Compensation took a year and had thousands of pages, painstakingly drafted submissions done by all interest groups, including Labour. He should know he did the submissions for the employer group. The CEP, as a member of the BC Federation, has denounced this process. The BC Fed will be granted our meeting with Mr. Winter on 15th of November 2001, and at that time we will make it clear at this meeting that is not consultation, and the whole process of revision is a joke. The president of the BC Fed will represent us at the meeting, along with the whole OHS committee, and a press release will be issued explaining what is happening to workers. But we don't just need to make predictions about what's going to happen to workers' compensation safety net. It already has started. One of the first things the Liberals did was to kick out the tripartite panel of administrators, which had an injured worker and a union representative on it, and replaced them with an accountant and an actuary. The first thing these guys did was enact a new policy that makes it impossible for workers to get interest on any retroactive awards that went on appeals. Since appeals for workers take years, our largest awards are often accompanied by interest that is equal to or even greater than the amount of principal for the award itself. For example, a worker is cut off benefits and told she can go back to work, not being able to. She appeals and hopes she will be able to collect WI or LTD in the interim. She may wait for 1.5 years and before she gets to the review board. There she may lose. Her appeal may then go to the appeals division, where she will wait some months for a decision. If not successful the injured worker has one further appeal to the medical review board. Presently, with it 2.5 years, all that's been repealed. There is no medical review board anymore. Now let's say that the worker wins her appeal and is granted an award of $180,000 in back benefits. She will likely get roughly the same amount of interest on the awards. Instead of $180,000, she will get something like $360,000. Very rough calculation. Now that the interest is taken away, workers who have lost their homes and often their families and their livelihood in the years they fought the appeal will no longer get retroactive interest for the time they did without money they were justly entitled to. But that's not all. The same policy that which robs workers of the interest for all the years they have done without. The new policy provides the employers will get interest if they win their appeals on any penalties that have been levied. How's that for a taste of liberal justice? Alan Winters has to give his recommendations to the government by the 15th January 2001. They say they will table new legislation to implement it by March 15th, 2001. The CEP membership must mobilize over this issue. We in the labor movement are the only ones who have organized and who will have a collective voice to stand up against the raid on workers' rights. The Harris government in Ontario has changed WCB into Workplace Safety and Insurance Board, and the trend towards privatization. However, the labor movement in Ontario did manage to stop Harris from instituting some of the horrendous changes that were proposed. We have the loudest and clearest voice. In addition, it is our members who are the fodder for these compensation battlefields. The CEP will be the forefront in this campaign against WCB cuts for workers. We will keep you informed and how we can help in the meantime. Call or write your MLA and the Minister of Labor. Let them know you do not want to see the erosion of workers' rights. Now, I haven't seen too much from the CEP since that time, but it was a good letter, and I thought people should hear it, because you don't always find what's on the net. Somebody wanders across it and puts it up for somebody to see it. But that pretty much tells you what it's all about. This is what Gordon Campbell brought with the Tribunals Act. Now, there's no such thing as a medical review panel anymore. That's been done away with. But it's in essence, it's exactly what's on this paper. They've just eroded all the rights of the worker. And I believe that it was the ICBA that was the outfit that they were talking there. They're one of the biggest outfits that are back in, and they're a bunch of they're a low outfit, that one. They I think they started out in Tennessee in the hills. That's where they started out, where you make 50 cents a day. That we're talking in 2000. You know, that's the kind of mentality they got. They're out there to destroy the worker of this country, and they don't give a shit what they do to do it. And unfortunately, they're succeeding with the help of everybody, including some workers. Because some of you get onto these job sites, and some of these little low-life sons of bitches will cut their fellow workers' throats to gain an inch in the face of the company. They don't realize that when it comes their turn, they get the same treatment as everybody else. But they're sellout artists. That's what they do. The foreman undoes his zipper, and they're already on their knees. You hear them hitting their knees at the back of the line. They're all ready to start gobbling. And unfortunately, we got to deal with those kind of people. They're part of the problem. I've dealt with them my whole working life. I've seen them on the job continually. They're the kind of people that try to get you fired so that they can get their friends' jobs. They're the kind of people that work that extra hour overtime at night for free, you know, to make you look bad, so that they keep working when the time comes and you're laid off. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen them. Warren knows what I'm talking about. The drywall industry is full of them. You know, and then when you put your tools down, the bastards try to steal your tools on top of it. There's lots of them in there, and unfortunately, we have to deal with them. But I thought people might be interested in that little deal. I've got my face up on Facebook now. I don't know whether I didn't see too much. I've seen Christina's name up there. I've seen John's name up there, but it doesn't look like too much activity there. It seems to be getting more on this site than anywhere else. But it's all about money. It's all about the control of the powerful over the poor.